Hello, students. Very lovely evening to all of you. I hope you all are doing well. Today, your Neema ma'am has come back with a very new and interesting story that is a short monsoon diary. Yes, students, this is a very interesting story which has been taken from your English literature book Honeydew, Class 8, Chapter 8. So, students, before getting deep into the story, let me give you the introduction of the story, which is very important. You will get an idea. So, students, a short monsoon diary gives us a glimpse of the diary written and maintained by Ruskin Bond. I hope you all must be knowing the meaning of diary. Let us revise. A diary is a record of personal experiences written day after day over a long period of time. In his diary, Ruskin Bond wrote about the silent miracles of nature as the mountains receive monsoon showers. The monsoon season in Missouri begins around the last week of June and continues till the end of August. The cold rains are welcomed in October till the last darkest cloud in March, which renders the sky clear for the rainbow after it hails. Now, students, before moving on to the story, let me tell you about the author of the story, that is Ruskin Bond. It is very important to know about the author. Okay, so Ruskin Bond was born on 19th May 1934 in Kasoli, Punjab, British India, to a British couple, Edith Clark and Aubrey Bond. His father served with the Royal Air Force from 1939 to 1944. His parents separated when he was young, and his mother soon remarried a Punjabi man. Ruskin was very close to his father, who died of jaundice when Ruskin was only 10 years old. He went to the Bishop Cotton School in Shimla, from where he graduated in 1950. He loved reading and was specially influenced by the works of T. E. Lawrence, Charles Dickens, Charlotte Bronte, and Rudyard Kipling. Soon he turned to writing as well and won several writing competitions in the school, including Urin Divinity Prize and the Haley Literature Prize. He wrote one of his short stories, Untouchable, at the age of 16 in 1951. After graduating from high school, he went to the UK in search of better prospects. While in London, he began working on his first novel, and his first novel was The Room on the Roof. It won the John Llewellyn Rhine Prize in the year 1957, awarded to a British Commonwealth writer under 30. Students, let me tell you that Ruskin Bond is an award winning Indian author of British descent, much renowned for his role in promoting children's literature in India. A prolific writer, he has written over 500 short stories, essays, and novels. His popular novel, The Blue Umbrella, was made into a Hindi film of the same name, which was awarded the National Film Award for Best Children's Film in the year 2007. He is also the author of more than 50 books for children and two volumes of autobiography. Born as the son of a British couple when India was under colonial rule, he spent his early childhood in Jamnanagar and Shimla. Students, let me also tell you that a few years hence he was approached by Penguin Books, who published several collections of his book, helping establish him as a popular author in India. He was awarded the Padma Shri in 1999 and Padma Bhushan in the year 2014. Now, students, before starting the story, let me just give you the summary of the story. The lesson gives us a glimpse into the diary of Ruskin Bond, and the first day being talked about is June 24th, the time around which monsoon begins. He mentions how the mist silences the bird's song and conceals the hills, making everything invisible. By June 25th, humidity emerges as they begin receiving some early monsoon rain. The first cobra lily rears its head from the ferns. The author describes the hill station and valley in one sentence, a paradise that might have been. The rains also heralds the arrival of a few seasonal visitors like the leopard, leeches, scarlet, minivets, and drongos. Because of the downpour, there is no dearth of food for the insect eating birds. He mentions how the rain continued all night on August 2nd. The springing leaks from the tin roof made him feel touched by the rain while actually remaining untouched. By the 12th day of August, Missouri had been receiving showers for a stretch of 8 to 9 days straight. They had nowhere to go. One could only pace in the room or look out of the window. The last day of August, yes, now the month of August, marked the peak of the lush monsoon growth. The reddening of the seeds of the lily cobra signified that the rains are about to come to an end and the ferns will now start turning yellow. With October comes the winter rain bringing snow on the higher altitudes. The late March marks the end of the winter season when the hill station experiences the darkest clouds that make way for a rainbow to form after it has hailed, thus leaving the sky very clear. Students, now I'm going to tell you according to the month wise, okay? Because these notes are from a small room of Ruskin Bond. Actually, moments of inspiration come to all of us. These are the times when our imagination takes a flight and there is an urge to pen down a few lines. It happens to Ruskin Bond during the monsoon, seeing how lovely everything starts looking. The rains are infinitely romantic, and there is regenerating beauty to the season that is quite hard to describe. It is with this sense of endless wonder and childlike joy that Ruskin Bond writes from his small room about all things that make an impression on him. And with this order for nature, even an ant's movement doesn't escape his sensitive eye. So, what happened on June 24th? Monsoon starts in last week of July and continues till the end of August. The first day of monsoon mist. With the mist, everything in nature has gone a drastic change. The birds seem to be quiet with the mist covering the hills. Not only does it covers the hills but also leaves a shadow of silence. Only an hour ago, the author was able to hear the trees buzzing the birds' song. Now it seems to him that the forest is deathly still, calm and tranquil, as if it were a night with the mist covering the hills. The author can hear Biju calling to his sister through the mist. Okay, the author could hear that Biju, there was someone, Biju, calling to his sister through the mist. He can hear his voice, but he cannot see Biju because of the mist. I hope students you all know the meaning of mist. It is fog. Okay, and in fog you cannot see anything. Now comes June 25th. Okay, so let us see what happens on 25th June. Now this month has come and the place welcomes real monsoon rain. The plants seem to know about the change. With the first monsoon rain, the cobra lily raises its head from the ferns. From the ferns means leaves. According to the author, the mist provides a privacy. Okay, then comes 27th June. The rain has brought the news of some seasonal visitors like a leopard, several thousand leeches. The author remembers that the previous day afternoon the leopard had lifted a dog from near the servants' quarter below the school. So, students, the rain brought with itself the news of the arrival of a few occasional visitors, okay, which comes according to the season, like the leopard and quite a few thousand leeches. Okay, leeches means joke. You must have seen joke, lychees, है ना, which suck the blood. And on the afternoon of the day before, the leopard, what happened? Picked up a dog from near the servants' quarter, which was below the school. Not only this, in the evening, it ambushed one of Biju's cows, but ran away as soon as Biju's mother came cursing. So, with the leeches, on the other hand, the writer says that he must get used to losing a little blood to them every day. He mentions a few other names that arrived with the rain, such as the scarlet minivets, bright red birds that look like a cuckoo. However, their female counterparts are yellow in color, right? So they move swiftly and lightly among the leaves, giving the appearance of brilliant jewels around them. These birds are so bright in their color that regardless of how leafy the tree is, it is difficult for them to hide themselves. Okay, so however, sometimes they manage to go unnoticed by remaining absolutely silent. A bird species named drongos. Okay, it is a species of the bird. Which one? Drongos. Also came along quite unnecessarily aggressive, gusse mein, in nature. They chase these minivets away. Okay, now let us see what happens on 2nd August. So here is the picture of minivets. Okay, they are a bit aggressive and see they keep on chasing. Now see students, on 2nd August what happened? On 2nd August the author wrote how the rain had been falling noisily on the corrugated tin roof. There was no storm or thunder, just the smooth falling of the tropical raindrops. It made it easier for the author to lie awake. However, at the same time, it didn't prevent them from falling asleep because he was also disturbed from the raindrops. Okay, now let us see what happens on 3rd August. So, as the rain stops on 3rd day of August, the clouds begin to separate, giving way to the sun on the writer's left. A woman could be seen cutting sticks into smaller pieces, and the tinkle of cowbells could be heard. A crow sitting on the oak tree shook itself to get away with the raindrops on its feathers as it caught unhappily and water dripped from the leaking drain pipe that carried off rainwater from the building. As everything settled, the pure song of the whistling thrush could be heard like a dark, sweet secret from the depths of the valley. Right? So, then what happened by August 12th? By August 12th, the hills had been experiencing continuous rain and permanent mist. They had not seen the light of the sun for about a good stretch of 8 to 9 days. Everything in the surroundings was slightly wet and moistened. One could not go anywhere. The only option was to move to and fro in the room or look out of the window at a few distance. Okay, from a few distance. As the next few days pass, the flowerless plants or the ferns will begin turning yellow against their present fresh green color as they stand firm and upright. He mentions how the ground orchids, white butterfly orchids, and the mauve lady slipper what the grassy slopes of Landor look fashionable. Furthermore, the wild dahlias, red and yellow and magenta, turned their head back towards the narrow opening in the rocks where they had taken hold. Now came 31st August. 31st August, the last day of the month, also marked the nearing end of the monsoon season. The monsoon vegetation growth had reached its peak by that time, and the color changing of the seeds of the cobra lily to red hinted at the end of the rainy season too. Okay, and in a few days the ferns will start turning yellow, but right now they are still firm, green, and upright. As the next days pass, the flowerless plants or the ferns will begin turning yellow again. Okay, and the snakes and the rodents that have come out of their holes and burrows in huge numbers took shelter in roofs, attics, and godowns. A small insectivorous mammal resembling a mouse, namely a shrew with a quite weak eyesight, moved about clumsily in the room. It acted as a source of entertainment for the children. Their grandmother warned them not to kill it because chachundas. Okay, they are called in Hindi. They are called chachundras in Hindi, and they are known to bring money and prosperity. And on this, the author jokes about it and says that he surely received a check in his mail, although not a huge amount, but welcome anyway. Now, students, on what happened on 3rd October, the month of October took the mountains straight into winter rain as it marked the end of the extended monsoon season. The higher altitudes were covered with snow, and on the 3rd day of October, the sky and hills were bathing in beautiful golden light after experiencing a hailstorm an evening before. Let us see what happened next. Can you see this beautiful scene? So, next comes 26th January. So, in the month of January, the hills receive winter rains. The author talks about the 26th day of January when he was all alone in the quiet and still house. The friend who accompanied him a while ago had also gone. He mentions how it was very lonely and quiet as he sat in complete silence, experiencing the silence within. He was surrounded by the rhythm of the rain, the slow and gentle movement of water on leaves, lemons, and roof as it drummed on already wet dahlias and window panes. The mist covered the house gently in its darkness. As the author stood still near the window, what happened, students? The rain stopped and showered again. He mentions that the trees were now grey and no longer green, threatening him with their loneliness. And after that, we see winter rains in the hills. Now comes March 23rd. So, March 23rd, next, he writes about late March that marked the end of winter season. It was the end of winter season. He recorded having seen the blackest and darkest cloud resting over Missouri. It poured hail that looked like marbles for about 30 minutes. He reveals how there is nothing like a hailstorm that clears the sky. He mentions that even as he was writing his diary, a rainbow was in its formation. Right? So, this was the story all about. So, students, I hope you have enjoyed the story. एंड आप लोगों को पता चल गया होगा कि मेनली क्या हुआ है स्टोरी में, है ना। इन दिस स्टोरी में क्या हुआ है कि मॉनसून के मौसम में पहाड़ों पर दिन प्रतिदिन जो बदलने वाले मौसम का क्या हुआ है, जो हमारे मौसम सीजनल चेंज होता है उसका डिस्क्रिप्शन दिया गया है, राइट। तो मॉनसून की शुरुआत में क्या हुआ, में धुंध यानी कि फॉग सारे पहाड़ों पर होती है, जिससे कि एवरीथिंग इज कवर्ड, और पक्षी अपने अपने जो है अपने अपने घरों में छिप जाते हैं। इट सीम्स द एज इफ यू आर इन द फॉरेस्ट, है ना। और जो है एकदम सब तरफ क्या होती है, साइलेंस ही साइलेंस होती है। तो इन द बिगनिंग जो टेम्परेचर है वो गरम और मतलब गरम होता है। और इस कारण से बहुत से जो फूल होते हैं, जैसे कि जिन फूलों का वर्णन किया गया है, वो क्या करते हैं, वो भी जो है खिल उठते हैं अपने मौसम के हिसाब से। दे ऑल्सो दे ब्लॉसम। So, students, we have seen that Ruskin Bond had spent a large part of his life in India and was deeply inspired by the nature beauty on the mountains. Okay, and basically, in this chapter, he has described the flowers, plants, creepers, and all kinds of insects, reptiles, and animals that he witnessed during monsoon. हमने we have studied that the hillsides are lush by flowers like wild balsam, dahlias, begonias and ground orchids. और क्या, snakes, rodents flood out of their holes, है ना, क्योंकि उनके होल्स भर चुके थे पानी से, and burrows and take shelter in roofs, attics and godowns. And when the monsoon is over, winter arrives with a cold, chilled rain and hailstorm. And at last, क्या हुआ था बच्चों? The rainbow appears, indicating the end of rain, cold, and mist. So I hope you all have enjoyed this story. Thank you very much for listening. Have a good day.